Hey there everyone, your friendly neighbourhood pyro BonOakley back again with another commentary video. Now today I want to discuss something I've been seeing a lot of recently, and that is the topic of TF2 versus Overwatch again. Now personally I see discussing this topic as beating a dead horse, talking about which is better than the other and which will outlast the other, so instead I want to talk about my personal opinions on each game and which I prefer. Now remember, that's the key word there, prefer. Now let's not act dumb, it's clear that I much prefer Team Fortress 2 over Overwatch, if you couldn't tell from me being a friendly neighbourhood pyro and all. TF2 has a thing that has me attached to it all the time. Hell, I've taken a year-long break from the game before, but I came back and loved the game still after all that time. With Overwatch, I bought it at launch, I played it for about 2 weeks, and that's about it. I mean, when the first Summer Games event or whatever it's called came out, I played it for about another half an hour and then put it down again, and have never played it again since. Honestly, there's no appeal to going back to the game for me. Now that's not to say Overwatch is a terrible game, in fact it's a pretty good game. Not a fantastic game in my eyes, but it's decent enough where I can see why there's so many people playing it. TF2 has a charm to it that keeps bringing me back no matter what. Heck, even recently with Sonic Mania coming out, I took a good 3-4 week hiatus from making videos related to the game and playing it all together just to make a review, but I came back pretty quick, as I now juggle them both, deciding to play one and then maybe the other afterwards if I feel like it. Now talking gameplay wise, Overwatch seems too dumbed down to appeal to the more casual players. There's no weird exploit or bug that developers found that then made it into a feature that once players master it, they have a bunch of movement options. Looking at you, Rocket Jumps. With Overwatch, the developers seem to make you do exactly what they want you to do. You can't use a certain hero's ability to gain more mobility or anything else like that. Speaking of heroes, I think there are way too many heroes in there. At release, there were 21 characters, and we've added more characters in recent updates and such. This seems that they'll keep on doing so for the foreseeable future. With this, however, it makes it much more difficult to balance them so that they all work well against one another, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Sure, the classes are separated into certain roles, but the same goes with Team Fortress. With Team Fortress, there seems to be much more balance between the 9 classes, some more than others of course. With much fewer characters to choose from, it makes it easier to balance weapons and classes, so counters seem much more clear to the player. Also, speaking of weapons, Overwatch doesn't have any variety in the guns you can use for a certain character. For example, what does Reaper have? Just 2 shotguns. Okay, Tracer, 2 pistols, Soldier 76, a machine gun. That's it. Those are the only weapons those characters can use specifically. With TF2, just the pyro alone has multiple flamethrowers that have different stats, shotguns, flare guns, axes and hammers. And yes, while some are more balanced and fun to use than others, I think that just having a choice of something different makes it a whole lot more interesting. Continue on with this point, Overwatch is one of the most pointless and stupid decisions in my opinion when it comes to ammo. They decided to make all the weapons, yes all of them, have infinite ammo. Remember when I said it was aimed for more casual gamers as well? This is one of the choices they made to accommodate said players. To me, this easily breaks the tension of a one-on-one battle, as no one has to worry about running out of bullets. Hell, even Splatoon, which is made by a company whose demographic are the more casual players, have limited ammo in their weapons, and they have to worry about running out of ammo. For you Overwatch players, when was the last time you felt like you were outmatched because of how much ammo you had left? I'm sure the answer is never, because you can't run out of ammo. In TF2 you have to make sure that every shot counts while on the battlefield, and if you run out of bullets, well you better make sure you can get up close to that heavy to kill them, otherwise you're pretty much screwed. Those moments are what I love about TF2, it's that you have to make sure your actions count. Sorry if this seems like I'm ragging on Overwatch, I'm trying to make this as balanced and non-biased as possible, but this design choice is just stupid, especially coming from Blizzard of all companies. Another comparison point that I can think of is the updates each game produce. With Overwatch, a lot of the time there isn't much content that comes from each one. They'll add a new map and maybe a new character that ruins the balance and then they'll try to fix, only to ruin the character for most players. Looking at you, Mercy. What's the majority that's added most of the time in each update? Skins, emoticons and voice lines. I'm sorry, but do I need to explain why TF2's updates are significantly better? New weapons, new maps, a lot of balance changes that can entirely change the way you play a class. Most of the time they're great additions, and I know they add cosmetics, but let's be real, most games do that these days. Speaking of those cosmetics, what does Overwatch have in that area? Yeah, the skins, which most of the time just changes the colour of the outfit of the character or their hair. Meanwhile, with Team Fortress you get all new items which include masks, coats, hats, shoes, unusual effects and a bunch more. And if you want to change the colours, all you need is some paint. It's basically Overwatch's system, except the skins can be applied to nearly every cosmetic available. And probably my final point to compare is the feel of the games. With Overwatch, when you kill someone, they just flop to the floor, and isn't anything different about them, no changes in their look whatsoever. Also, let's take Reaper's shotgun as an example. When you finish off an enemy close range, there doesn't seem to be any gratifying oomph after taking them down. It's just a simple flop to the ground. So what does Team Fortress do? Blood for starters. Yes, something as simple as blood makes it feel more satisfying when killing someone, as it indicates you're actually doing something to them. Shooting someone up close with a shotgun is great too, as they actually fly away from you like a normal human being would do from getting shot from that distance. If you get set aflame, your character model starts burning and you flinch, which tells you that you need to go find help fast. Or what about getting blown up by a grenade or rocket? Your limbs go flying. You don't stay in a neat pile like in Overwatch. Your mutilated corpse gets splattered everywhere. Unfortunately, once again, the casual appeal they were going for seemed to dumb down the violence, which is weird for a first-person shooter. Overall, it may seem that I'm bashing Overwatch, but it's really not a bad game. It's alright in my opinion, however I would much prefer to play Team Fortress 2 over it any day. It appeals to me much more, and to this day I've never had the urge to play Overwatch again. If Overwatch is your kind of thing, then go for it. I'll just keep playing my hat simulator over here. What's your opinion on both TF2 and Overwatch? Is one better than the other, or do you actually enjoy both equally? Let me know down below. And as always, this has been your friendly neighborhood pirate BonOakley. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.